Okay, next question. Convert uppercase to lowercase. Write a function that takes a string and converts all the uppercase letters to lowercase letters without using any built-in functions. So we're only changing uppercase letters to lowercase letters. Any letter that's already lowercase, we're going to leave alone. Any punctuation, we're going to leave alone. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a little helper function that allows us to detect if something is uppercase. So we'll call this is uppercase, returns a Boolean. Let's have this guy take in a character as a parameter. We'll go ahead and implement it down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of create a string that just has all of the uppercase letters in it, A, B, C. All right, did I get that right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, so those are all our uppercase letters. So let's just go ahead and write a loop. Print I is equal to 0, I is less than map dot length, I plus plus. So we're going to loop through every character inside of map. We're going to ask the question if the current character we're looking at is equivalent to the character that was passed in. That means that the character that was passed in is one of our uppercase letters. So we'll go ahead and return true. If we've checked all of the characters in map against it and none of them were in there, it must not be an uppercase letter. So we'll return false. All right, so we have a little helper function there. So now let's go ahead and write the actual function. So we'll say string, let's call replace uppercase. This guy will take a string S as a parameter. Right. And we're going to go ahead and store our answer inside of a string. So we'll set it as the empty string because we're going to be building it up. We're going to write a for loop. Length I equals 0, I is less than S dot length, I plus plus, like that. All right. Now, each time through, we want to ask the question, if S at bucket I, if the current character we're looking at, if that guy is uppercase. Okay, so if the current character we're looking at is an uppercase character, we want to get the lowercase version. So we'll come back and write that here in a second. If it's not an uppercase character, we're just going to keep it as is. So we'll say answer is equal to answer concatenated with S at bucket I. So we'll just keep it as is without any change. All right. So now lastly, we need to have something that returns a char. Maybe we'll call this upper to lower. Takes a char C as a parameter. Now you could play the ASCII game with this and just do the math for the difference between uppercase characters and lowercase characters. That would probably be the shortest version of it, but a lot of students find that difficult to understand. So we're just going to brute force this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and steal this string map from down here. And we're going to call this guy uppers. And then we're going to write another string called lowers, which is the same alphabet, but with all lowercase. Okay. So now we have two strings, one with all the uppercase characters and one with all the lowercase characters. Notice they're the exact same length. Notice that bucket 0 of the uppers is a capital A and bucket 0 of lowers is a capital or is a lowercase a. So we would be passing in a character. In this case, I named it C, which is an uppercase character. So we should find it somewhere in this. And wherever we find its location in this, we'll just return the character from the other one. So we'll say for int I is equal to 0. I is less than uppers dot length I plus plus if uppers at bucket I is equivalent to the character we're looking for, we'll return lowers at bucket I, which will be the lowercase equivalent. All right. Now, because of the way we are using this function, we know we will eventually get into this if statement. Since we know we're going to be passing this an uppercase letter, it will find one of our uppercase letters. But because we've advertised we're going to return a char, I can come down here and maybe do a little error message saying not an uppercase letter. And then maybe return, I don't know, a space or maybe a question mark. We don't expect to ever get there, but we'll just go ahead and return the question mark if they've used this improperly and put a little message out there. All right, so now we have upper to lower. So we're going to call that little helper function right here. So we'll call upper to lower on S at bucket I. And we're going to say answer is equal to answer concatenated with that. Okay. So if we're currently looking at an uppercase character, get the lowercase version of it and concatenate it on. Otherwise, just concatenate on whatever it currently is. After this for loop is done, we'll go ahead and return answer. And that should be it. So now we'll go ahead and test this. String, call this answer, and we're going to say replace uppercase. I'm just going to make a couple of these uppercase. Right, and here we'll just put something like that. Put a couple of capital things in there. We'll put a couple of punctuation things that are not letters at all. We'll go ahead and do a cout, whatever answer is, and we should get hello world with all this extra stuff with all the uppercase letters in lowercase. There it is right there. All right, I will see you in the next video.